I'm running and about to get going.
Yep, bowling starting from the river end here, uphill, up the slope. It's a straight up and down from the river end. Oh, a loopy one to begin down the leg side, wide signals. But yeah, the slope here is a perfectly up and down, so there's no Lord's sideways angle to it at all.
It's a glorious setting, isn't it? It's perfect Sunday cricket kind of venue.
I think in single. Eventually started out on it, and single it is. Let's get Glamorgan up and running. And there's exactly what you're talking about. It's gorgeous. There's the school in the background. The pavilion for this game is behind the camera, so the players are all set up. The men's team will be taking the older, larger facility. It's the newer, smaller facility that the women have for the changing area for this. Another wide, that one slips away.
Daisy Jeans and Lauren Parfitt, the opening batters for Glamorgan, been in decent form recently. Jeans made 115 not out from 113 balls at Derbyshire in the Metrobank 50 over competition just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, swing and a miss, through it goes.
While Lauren Parfitt made 71 from 84 against Derbyshire and 59 not out from 52 balls against Gloucestershire in the T20 County Cup. So both of them gone past 50 and made big scores recently.
Oh wow, wobble on that. Turner and Middlesex will be pleased to see. Oh, and wobble again. This time it wobbles in. Well, if the ball before was going to give encouragement, then there it was for Turner. You could just see Parfitt wasn't sure out of the hand what that was going to do. Suggestion it might have shaped, but look at the seam movement on that. It has seamed back in, and that is as good a delivery as you could hope for as a seam bowler.
Well, the captain wanders away, shaking her head. You can see the look on her face there, saying, too good for me, that one. Nipped off the seam, clatters into the timbers. And first one down for Middlesex. Inside the first over, 3 for 1.
So Holland it is in at 3. It is renowned as a seamer's surface here at Northwood over the years. The Middlesex men's team getting first use of this one professionally, and it has always been a game that the men's quicks have looked forward to, and we've just seen exactly why from Turner on that. And that shapes away. Let's just see through the air. Was there any swing on this one? There was, yeah, might have just been a little bit of a late swing. Took that one away, just there.
So it's swinging away and nipping in. Good luck, everybody.
Swings away again, but powered away. Holland off the mark, first boundary for Glamorgan.
Geez, that was a good shot, wasn't it? Swinging away, stays leg side of the ball, drives it through point and away for the first boundary. Well, it's a lively first over, a bit of everything in that one. Yes, you are on the screen.
Wait, me or then? I've got a mouthful of cake. I thought comms cam was off today. Dan, don't you dare. Producer Dan's looking. I'm on a warning. No more cake on comms. Patel.
Opening the bowling from the Benham Hens, Sonali Patel.
Will be running downhill from the Benham Hens. They are interested in the approaches here. We'll come to those in a moment, but it's a pretty normal trajectory downhill. Just slightly, the pitch itself is elevated to some extent when you hit the crease. Oh, what a ball that is to start! Booming in swing. Back goes Jeans, and that is some start for Patel, and this is some start for Middlesex.
Absolutely hooping in. That is an incredible delivery first up. It just comes on in and carries on its way. And as you can see, takes the top of middle. Look where that started and look where it's finished. I mean, you do well to play that once you've had 3 or 4 balls looking at a bowler. But the first one, wow.
Well, the first dismissal of the match, I think you look at the footwork and say, why is the gate so big? I think we've seen why the gate's so big by that delivery. And then those couple that shaped away, the other one jagged back in. You can see the batters aren't sure at the moment. The seam movement's huge, and getting through these early few overs while that seam is still hard and pronounced. It's one from either end, of course. Middlesex will think in this power play now they can really heap the pressure onto the Glamorgan batters. That's a good shout. I think it's actually doing too much. It's another ball that swings dramatically back in to the right-hander. There's a strong wind today which will be helping that swing, and in fact a little inside tickle because the umpire has not signalled. I don't think it was an inside edge, but I do think it was missing leg stump.
Well, there was then an enormous yes-no moment between the two batters, and they end up, in the end, being able to take the leg by. 8 for 2.
Patel's got it right on the spot at the moment. Holland's in behind that one. But that ball is really doing a bit. Just trying to get my bearings on this wind again. We've been racing around ourselves with a busy start. It's from behind Patel, which that would help the in-swing, wouldn't it? And then rolling into the wind, the away swing at the other end. To you, to me, there you can see there's massive doubt, absolutely huge doubt at the moment, and there you can see that wind, which will be affecting the swing of the ball out there at the moment. Shape of the delivery can be just as difficult for the bowler, but Patel has got absolute control of this. Holland not sure how to do it. Step one way, step the other. There you go again, swinging in, and Holland's got to find a way here, but it feels to me, Macca, that the first way is survival. You've got to play this almost like it's a 50 over game for sure, but a first class game as well. This ball's doing enough that Middlesex could do huge damage. Last ball of the second over. Oh, wow. I'm almost lost for words on it at the moment, just how much swing there is. And at the moment, Glamorgan don't particularly have an answer. 8 for 2 after 2.
Kev, I apologise at this point because I sold you a wrong un saying that there were 2 changes to the Middlesex team, because that's what Saskia Hawley indicated to us at the toss. There are actually 3 changes. Gaia Gole is missing out today as well. So it is both Sonali Patel and Anaya Patel into the attack today. So Gaia Gole is missing out with both Sonali and Anaya Patel into the side. But at the moment, it's all about the Glamorgan batters, isn't it? As you say, how can they find a way to survive? Because at the moment, it does feel like a survival job.
That's a good shot. Just picked up the length early there, Gammon. Sweeper back at deep mid-wicket. The two back are deep square and deep mid-wicket. So she will be looking to keep it on a length on that off stump. Saw those couple of wides in the first over from turn, but again running up the hill into the wind. That's the old adage, isn't it? But I can promise you today it's a challenge for the bowler. There you go again, that one slips out. Slips through the gloves as well. They'll get a wide, and they will run that wide as well.
Yeah, coming into the breeze, it can often feel like you're not even going to get to the crease, and then you might not even finish your action off. At times it'll feel like that. It is a skill. There are plenty of bowlers who've made a career out of it, almost going uphill into the breeze.
Edged and gone! Little tickle. Kevin was following the ball really on that one, but that's beautiful bowling from Turner. Line length, keep it on the spot, and if there is a little bit of movement, and there's undoubtedly variation out there today, and the bowler and indeed the keeper could be in play. That has just got in tight
and bounced and just runs in and takes the top shoulder up towards the shoulder of the bat, and 11 for 3 in the third over. Well, this is a dream start for that group of players. They'll be really happy. Now it's that old adage, isn't it? Keep it going. You've got the opening, force your way through the door. But that's a cracking delivery.
This is the angle I want to see. There you go. It just seams in again, doesn't it? Like the one that took the wicket. This one seams in and tucks up Gammon on the shorter length. And that's, as you say, high up that outside edge, Macca. This is a fascinating game at the moment, I've got to say, for those who just enjoy bowling. I mean, if you want your 4s and 6s, you might have to sit back for the second half of the innings if Glamorgan can make it that far. That's what they've got to do now, because this is all about seam bowling here at Merchant Taylor School. The seam movement there is, you'd certainly imagine that the selection panel for the second game of the day will be having a very, very good look at this.
Yes. Do you go... I mean, there were people after the men's game the other night saying Middlesex were a batter light. We'll come to that in a moment, because that's well pitched up, pushed into the offside. But do you stack the bowling and say, well, look, if it's low scoring, we need to make sure that it is low scoring and we won't need as many batters? Or do you actually then say, well, if it's low scoring, we need as many batters as we can, try and get as many as we can? Interesting dilemma.
Stepping across and scooping just for a single. It's a high risk shot that at the moment. There's not really the pace, and again that ball, the bowling from the river end, which is where Turner's coming from, she's going up the hill, so the ball will naturally kick up with the variation. So to try and get under that and lift it without that pace to try and keep it going, it's a big risk shot that. Deep square and deep mid wicket are the two that stay back. I have to be tempted by a short fine leg. There's a short third at the moment, which is where that was fielded. Oh, that's beautiful. Moves away again. From behind, please, Dan. It's just fascinating at the moment to see if it's late swing or seam. That's a late swing. It's just taken that away.
You were just talking about deep square being in place. Come back in actually to square, to just backward of square, and they put the deep cover out instead. And because the way they're bowling at the moment, I can't see how the ball gets to backward square. That makes sense.
That's away fine. Another edge. Pearson turns to collect, but it'll be a boundary straight away off the edge. Welcome runs.
You've just got to hold your nerve and just bowl 6 in and around that kind of spot, haven't you? This is exactly where Middlesex need to be. I mean, 3 overs and 3 wickets down, 16 for 3. And virtually every ball is looking dangerous at the moment. Forget about the variations today, I'd be saying. Let's just get in there, book in bed and breakfast on a line and length and see what happens. Let's all go at MTS this morning, isn't it?
Stop it. It's usually me winding you up, Macca. Patel back for her second. No surprise at all. She opened with that dismissal. See the wind picking up on our camera there, just that little bit of wobble on the camera itself as we wait to watch the wobble from the ball, but it is all in swing at the moment for Patel. Now a case for Ellis and Hollands just to be watchful, really.
So the thing about T20s, you do sometimes have a little bit more time than you think, and losing 3 early, there is now that time to rebuild.
Up in the air. It's going to land safe. Deep square, deep mid-wicket coming around. They'll get a couple, but Ellis didn't know too much about that. Got a replay, bub. So a little look at that top edge. Drag, really, nothing more. It's deep third and deep square backer. Standard T20 power play field. Oh, that's a beaut. Absolute beaut. Well dug out by Ellis. Right into the block hole.
Now here's a question. With the opposition 18 for 3, you're not allowed more than 2 fielders out. Do you need the 2 fielders out? Do you see what I'm saying? Would there be a case to go full attacking, slip in place, almost go a red ball field?
There's that swing again, upsetting Ellis, setting up for it, opening herself up there, looking to drag to the onside, but as that ball came sharply swinging back in, it was just basically lay bat on ball however you can. But yeah, I think from the river end in particular, where you've got that away swing, the seam movements coming back in, we saw that edge for 4 at the end of the last over. I think absolutely a slip, and potentially the deep third protect the good ball. Trying to come up with a tactic here, and you almost wonder whether it's better to just stand and deliver than try and shimmy against that moving ball, because the ball's doing so much sideways that you could move yourself into a really horrible position. But easy game from the sidelines, isn't it? 4 gone at the power play, 2 to come, 18 for 3. And just going back to your point, Macca, that lose 3 or more wickets in a power play, you lose 90% of your games. It's a massive stat, and you know it will have changed slightly because it's a couple of years old, that stat now, but it won't have shifted significantly. It could have shifted even worse into another direction, but yeah, time is certainly on your side in a T20, and it's better to hang in there and give yourself the chance of the late charge than end up in a heap early on and no way back. Shape again for Turner. That was starting on leg, straight into middle and off.
Front on, please, Dan.
That's what we're talking about in terms of that slip in place. At the moment they haven't got a slip or a deep third, and again it's an easy game from here, isn't it? But there's no reward whatsoever for an edge. Is that driven very much outside of the bat into the offside by Hollands? But yeah, you get an edge and it goes past slip and it goes away for 4. Well, you had the slip in place. You get an edge and there's no slip and it goes for 4 and there's no deep third.
That's the problem, isn't it? You always need one more fielder. the great captaincy debate, it'd be so much easier if you had 12.
You can guarantee this is going to loop to the short third now for a fabulous catch. That's dragged straight, and it's down the hill again. Once it's past mid-on, or straight to mid-on as it was, then it's 4 all the way. Good connection. And again, another welcome boundary.
Just a little bit short in length on that occasion from Turner. Enables the pull shot. Just want to be that little bit fuller. Inviting the drive if you can.
Nice shot, just the single. There's the sweeper on the offside.
That's back where you want to be.
See the big inhalation there from Ellis. That's purely based on doubt. And it's the length is key there as well, isn't it? Because for a battle, what do? Top ball to finish the fifth. 23 for 3. One to come with the power play. Turner 2 for 20 from her 3 now. I mean, it's a phenomenal start for Middlesex. And over to Holland and Ellis to find an answer for Glamorgan.
Going back to the captaincy point, do you bowl these 2 out, all 4? Because if it's swinging around, as we often say, you don't know how long a white ball will swing for. It is a shorter period than a red ball. If you've got 2 bowlers going like this, you'd be definitely tempted to keep them going, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because I think we saw in the first over as well, didn't we? That struggle up the hill into the wind. A couple of wides that were sent down. There was another in second over as well. That's through. Deep third. He's not going to get around to that. It was a good attempt, but time and space was always running out down on the rope.
Fraction too much width, isn't there? Enabling to free the hands. Holland's going well at the moment. Better than a run of ball.
That was dangerous. They've seen that swing so far from Patel. In swing. Might be going a little early here, but are we just seeing signs in the last 2 overs that the seam movement in particular, these white balls do not swing anywhere near as long as the red ball. Not a bit of loop on it, but it's not that booming, hooping in swing that we saw earlier.
Now that looks more like the natural angle from the hand, doesn't it? But it's still doing enough to be troubling.
They usually say you get 5 overs, don't they, with these balls? So where you have a new ball from either end. So mainly talking List A games, where we'd analyse this a little bit closer. That the first 10 overs are so key. 5 overs from one end, 5 overs from the other, and the seamers in the game. It's third over on this ball. 3 already completed at the other end of the other ball. So a run. Slight delay, perhaps setting off for Ellis, but she's through in the end.
Yeah, Holland could see how deep that had gone back past the bowler easier than her partner, so calls it through. 28 for 3. So 1 ball left then of the power play. And then Middlesex are technically allowed to relax the field somewhat. You'd be very surprised if they did, to a huge extent.
Oh, well. Now, she hasn't got a tickle on that. We've been saying that's been dangerous, though, for Ellis to some extent. I guess it probably makes a little bit more sense with the bowling from the Benham end, the ball swinging in. But it's been good control from Patel, wide outside the off stump, keeping that ball from angling onto a half volley leg stump line. 28 for 3, it's the end of the power play. Middlesex's power play, no doubt. How Middlesex go about this now is going to be fascinating, as he just said, Macca. Do they drop the field back? I mean, first of all, change of bowling. Patel, it's off the back of a slightly good day at Lord's the other day.
Master of understatement there, Kev. Yes, she had a very good day. 4 for 18 from 4. And that was the moment that really did do so much damage against Sussex. Going from 42 for 1 at the end of the power play to 62 for 4 at the halfway stage. The handbrake went on and the wicket started falling.
Single to the sweeper at cover, so long off and long on her back, so too cover, so too is deep square.
The thing is, she is bowling into the teeth of the breeze, which can either help because it'll feel like to the batter it's not quite getting to them, or it means as a bowler you've really got to finish your action and get it through.
For a single again. I think we'll have a close eye on this field at the moment, won't we, just to see. It almost feels like for Middlesex you could say bring the field up and force them to take risks to try and breach that field, the infield. I think at the moment Glamorgan would happily settle for nudging. Single again.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? A lot of the time you want to do what the opposition least want you to do. I would say at the moment Glamorgan want to sort of occupy the crease, nudge and nurdle, singles and whatever. And of course as soon as you say that they play a reverse paddle, but but you know what I mean, in the fact that actually they know they can't really lose many more wickets, certainly until the halfway mark of the innings. So from a Middlesex point of view, I would say you don't really want to be giving them too many 1s and 2s just to enable them to settle in and do that rebuilding.
Trouble! Now what was there on it? Yes, gone. Batter was ready to walk. Started to walk, stopped for a moment, waited for the umpire's decision, and that was out. 31 for 4. 4 on Thursday at Lord's. Taking a couple of deliveries here to pick up another one. That's a lovely ball, really is. And look, Patel didn't get a 5 for at Lord's. I mean, it looked good from the off, and the batter looked as though she was ready to walk, but I have to say, on the replay, I'm just struggling to see exactly what it did take. Bit of glove, maybe.
It's one of those that, first of all, you were thinking, are they appealing LBW? And then, are they appealing court?
It's a good shout. Yeah, just the glove there, isn't it? The glove then onto the shoulder, and then up it goes. But that could ease. Well, if it wasn't glove, then it could easily have been LBW. But yeah, it's just that glove.
Yeah, it was a great ball, wasn't it? I mean, it's a very good delivery when you've got 2 chances of getting a wicket. Burt comes to the crease, and Glamorgan are deep in trouble.
It's the wind. It's going to be float. It's going to help the flight, isn't it? The spinner.
Now that would annoy me slightly if I'm a bowler. New batters come in straight away, got a fairly easy single out to deep cover, and takes on the strike for the start of the next over. But when you're 32 for 4, can't deny that that's been a very impressive start. Families are in early today, plenty going on around the ground. Ice cream stalls on the far side, there's food stalls. And Kevin doesn't know it yet, ladies and gentlemen. But
You're buying the ice cream?
No, there's a face painting stall, and you're booked in for the mid-innings break in the men's game.
To be fair, that's more likely than you buying the ice cream, Macca. Now, was there a tickle? Yes, there was. The slow finger of death goes up. Burke to pass. Just a little inside edge on that. Middlesex knew they had the wicket. They knew they heard the edge. Umpire didn't take too much to convince him. That was outside edge. Outside edge. It's just seamed away. Goodness me. There goes that finger. Just look at this late seam movement. Boom. Wow. Probably easier to pick it up from behind, that late seam movement, but the angle out of the hand coming in, we were talking about the in-swing from the top end that Patel's been getting. That's the first one I think that was really noticeably seamed from this end.
It also looked as if it just kissed off the surface and bounced a little bit more as well. I mean, it looks like a drive ball, but it's just not quite there. Well, this is dream territory stuff for Middlesex at the moment. Glamorgan 32 for 5.
Well, it's so difficult. I was just waiting, as I'm sure perhaps Burke only had a couple of balls to look at, but waiting for that booming Imsoon to come back in and be beating the inside edge.
Well, of course, these two sides met a few weeks ago in the 50-over competition and got no hint of anything like today from that game. Middlesex batted first, made 289 all out in the final over of their innings. Glamorgan 278 in reply in the 50th. That day, Emma Jones made 147 not out for Glamorgan. Emma Jones, though, not in the Glamorgan side today. Sonali Patel in that 50-over game took 2 for 40 in her 10 overs. Got 2 deliveries of today's work. 2 for 9 on the board.
One's come for Dave Patel. Still swinging in for her, not quite that exaggerated movement through the air that we saw earlier on. starts her final over with her second wicket. What can she end her spell with? Going for that in-swinger again. Porter digs it out. It's 2 for 9 from 4 for Patel. I think she'd pack her daylight today up and take it with her anywhere she could go. 33 for 5.
Absolutely, that applause very well deserved. 2 for 9, a fabulous effort.
Single start the over for Holland, but it means Porter coming on strike for the first time to the spinner, and again it was Patel, 4 for at Lords on Thursday. So much damage in that Sussex Sharks innings. Rocking back and looking to go hard. Just looking at the, step back for a minute, look at the innings, 12 overs to go, only 5 wickets standing, but you've got Holland 21 from 20. I think there's an onus here on Porter. Low risk. Nudge and nurdle. You're not going to set up a winning score in this over, but Glamorgan are very close to a position that they could be well out of the game by the end of the over if they keep swinging at deliveries that they're not particularly in or set for. Got to play that with respect at the moment. Let's try and find the gaps in the field. As you say, Middlesex have put the field back, and to some extent you'd almost say, well, go on, nudge and nurdle the singles into those gaps and then you can open up. There you go. Single just backward a square, short fine leg comes around. End of the day, if they could nudge and nurdle 4 and over, it's not a great amount, but
well, there are 67 balls left of the innings. Push 50, 55 singles, you're going to be getting on towards 90. And, if you can get it up to a run a ball, then you're at 100. It's something to bowl at.
That sliced away off the edge, looking for the drive. It was just a swing outside off. Now Holland is seeing it big, so she's got the right, in my opinion, to try to take the attack to Middlesex, but she needs support at the other end. 36 for 5.
Well, the other thing is she also knows what's in the pavilion still to come, so she will be better placed than us to know quite how much there is left, and therefore we'll have to time her efforts accordingly. Right then. Sonali Patel is bowled out, so it is Hannah Davis to follow up and follow that to a certain extent.
Davis into the attack, replacing Patel. First change at the Benham end. Huge wind, which will affect the bowlers as well, as we've been saying. Just drifts that one down the leg side. Should be disappointed that one got through. Holland, eyes lit up but wary of that dropping into the block hole and yorking herself.
Do you remember the former Leicestershire spinner Jeremy Snape? He used to bowl something he called the moon ball because it went so high and dropped down. That last one from Hannah Davis it was getting on for a moon ball at one point. There was plenty of height and loop on that one. Played for England a couple of times, Jeremy Snape. Then went on to be a sports psychologist. Very good one, apparently. Done a lot of work with teams around the world, not just in cricket.
There you go, that one nearly loops into the block hole again. They take the single, throw to the non-strikers then. Wow, that was tight. Mid-on collecting. There was no delay setting off. The bat goes down, had to go round the bowler. There was part of the problem. Oh my goodness me, that would have been gone by a way.
So it's what, 20 metres between the crease lines. She's probably ended up running about 22 or 23 there because of having to navigate around the bowler. And as you say, that's potentially the difference between out and not out with a direct hit.
And again, Naomi Tatani with the throw this time. Coming around from mid-off.
For any students doing GCSEs at the moment, about the only thing I remember from my maths, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Therefore, don't run extra metres by trying to have to shimmy your way around a bowler. Just go barreling down, straight down the middle, and if the bowler's in the way, remove them. As politely as possible, obviously.
Dropping the singles in this over. Started with the wide, 4 singles thereafter, and all of a sudden 5 off the over. 41 for 5 at the halfway stage. Could get a partnership going, 100's on here, and right now Glamorgan would absolutely take anything, beginning with a 1 from here.
Very much so. Holland is, well look, you can see on that card, a runnable 24, but if she'd been dismissed for 8, say, then Glamorgan would be in a world of pain. So Holland is doing a great job. Saskia Hawley comes into the attack.
Up in the air, chance, and held well by Davis as well. On the move, backtracking down the hill towards the river. That is not easy. Get up into the sun, but holding on.
Well, she took it on. What did she say? It was going leg side, and it ends up off the lower part of the bat, scooping up and underneath it, and the catch is taken at mid-off. Another one down.
Porter falls for 3. I just think I need a bit of level-headedness here as Tulloch comes out to join Hollands, but they're a couple of wickets away from this innings capitulating now, and you'll be a long way short of 100. But hold your heads, hang on in there with Hollands. Hawley striking with her second delivery. Look at that opening pairing though. Patel 2 for 9 off 4. Of Turner's 20 she conceded, 1 was definitely a fine edge past the keeper. Indeed, I think Patel conceded 1 off an edge as well. Only 4 boundaries in the innings so far, all 4 of them for Holland, and a couple off the edge. That's got to give Glamorgan an idea that they need to change the way they're going about it. In-game management. Play the game in front of you.
Yeah, all very well to have team meetings last night and this morning, but you've got to respond to what's happening in front of you.
There you go. Go on for a single. Low risk shot, single taken.
It's like that old Mike Tyson quote, isn't it? Everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the face. What that means is you've then got to respond, react accordingly and change. If you find yourself 11 for 3, 31 for 4,
It's leg bias. The bat might have clipped the pad as well, just offered a little noise also. Leg by and 2 singles to end the over. Started with a wicket off that second ball. 44 for 6. High risk shots have brought such little reward for the top order. The playing around Holland now has to be done in singles. It has to be. Let Holland take the educated risks, but don't let her run out of partners.
I mean, one thing we probably should point out is we've mentioned the fact that Middlesex played against Sussex on Thursday and had that very strong victory. This is Glamorgan's first outing in the competition, so Middlesex have had that one game, if you like, to get themselves up and running, to find their feet. Glamorgan are coming here pretty cold and have walked into to a Middlesex side who are pretty hot.
Davis going with the loop again. That wind's behind her as well, so that ball's probably just pushing it a little bit further than she'd want it to go at the moment. There you go again, full toss. Single out to deep square, but as we always say, if you're going to miss that fuller delivery, you want to miss it a little bit fuller than a little bit shorter, because then you're into the slot. Same goes for a leg spinner who Davis's pace will have a naturally fuller length. There it is, just on that spot. Holland able to rock back to that one, but that's the margin of it. The line of that one as well, tucked up Holland. It's going to be away now. Will it be a boundary? I think it's just going to be pulled up. It is the river end, so it does go quickly down the slope. They'll get a couple more. Side. Oh, does feel she's missed out on that one. She replays the clip. The line of that ball, she probably had the right to do anything she wanted with it on the leg side, so has missed out to an extent. Oh, tucked up again, that's better. Ball to finish from Davis. Just the 3 off the over, so it's hardly a bad over. She probably did get away with a couple of deliveries there, but might have gone. 47 for 6, 8 to go. Hey, Rob Bailey! Is Rob buying the ice cream?
Just wait till he turns around so he knows that he's on vision, and then realises he's been spotted.
Oat milk latte, please, Rob. I reckon he's an Americano man, Rob Bailey. I can't see him with a matcha or an oat milk latte.
I doubt it's decaf, I'll say that.
Now, that... Oh, wow! That has kicked up. The bounce of that has cleared the field well. Hawley sees the funny side. I have to tell you, watching it with the naked eye, my relief was that didn't kick up into the teeth. Watch this bounce. Boom! Whoa! Down the hill, so there's a trajectory about it, but bang, yeah, you see that kick up of dust there. What about the same again? Drops the single.
It's a good job that happened very quickly, because Lauren Turner would have been thinking a whole lot of things there otherwise. That ball, that could do seriously a lot of damage the way that that's bounced up. She's very lucky that it's gone the angle that it has and cleared her head.
I mean, there was a split second in the air, there's no doubt she'd have been thinking about the catch. And we often talk about the dentist ball diving forward, don't we?
Yes. God damn, ooh, that was horrible.
It's a good start to Tani at point. Oh, they're going to come through. Tani's got a strong arm. Flat throw, direct hit, and I think that was gone. Bowled a fair bit for Middlesex and for Sunrisers in her previous stints to Tani. Playing just as a batter on her return to the side at the moment. It's the end of the 13th, single off it, and that's a very good over. 8. Single off the last ball it is, 8 off the over. But that was that boundary, which could have easily been the catch. It could have been a lot worse as well for Turner though, so I think everybody, having seen the way that ball kicked up, quite happy that it went away for 4, even Middlesex, rather than doing any damage. 55 for 6 after 13 Glamorgan, put in here by the hosts at Merchant Taylors School, Northwood, just outside Watford. Something of a fortress for the men's side. Middlesex women opening with a victory at Lord's on Thursday, looking to go 2 from 2. Now they'd love to make this a fortress as well, and you can see why with that seam movement as well, that what Middlesex don't often benefit from is home advantage, but at Merchant Taylors School they generally know what they're going to get and they turn up here, and home advantage is usually in their favour. Pearson's first over replaces Davis. On the spot, up in the air it goes, just short. Tani it is out there.
Took 1 for 12 from 3 overs on Thursday, did Pearson. Now for Tulloch, the long on is coming back inside the 25-metre circle.
Oh, now there was a late swing on that. Again, we'll have a look again. Just see it was late swing rather than seam movement. It might have been seam actually. It was, off the surface.
Yep, that twine just gripped into the surface, didn't it? And then ran back in on the batter's hands.
And pushes the next one through. Should have had let's see on the release of the one that seamed back in whether she did just turn the fingers over the top. I don't think she did though. I think that was just genuine seam movement.
Now with a couple of sizable swishes from Tulloch, long on's gone back into place, and Pippa Sproul has decided to take the helmet off and stand back. Two singles only so far. Can she finish it off nice and tight?
That was not a bad ball. That's a fine shot by Holland. That was onto the stumps. She's worked that well. Looked through it a few times earlier in the innings against Patel from the Benham end down the hill. That bit of in dip. This time gets it away.
There's very, very little wrong with that delivery. Sometimes you just have to hold your hand up and say, batter played a phenomenal shot. That's a really good shot for 4, and Holland continues on her merry way. 37 at better than a runner ball. She is doing so much of the heavy lifting here.
Tries to go again. Good adaptation. Just to reverse that bat in her hands and try and go the other way. 6 off the over. Well done, Hollands. An innings that's making a match of it at the moment for Glamorgan. 61 for 6.
Returning to bowl at the lake end, the Nile Patel.
So we're back to Anaya Patel. Just the 2 overs earlier. The 1 for 7 in them.
Paddled, but just a single. It's up in the air, but safe. Actually, I looked out with the naked eye to that, and it wasn't the ball that was up in the air, it was a seagull that was swooping. Because then I just realised that the ball started to go at a weird angle, and it was actually a bird.
Well, it was up in the air if you're a worm. Other than that, I'm afraid not, Kev.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a single down to long off. Coming out soon, isn't it? New Superman movie. You must know. Don't look quizzically at me. The new Superman movie, the remake.
I'm afraid those things go over my head.
James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I thought you meant the bloke is in Gun and More. And before anyone revokes my citizenship of the East Midlands, I know it's William Gunn. Thank you very much.
That's dragged away by Hollands. She's going to turn it into 2. She's on to 40 from 37. Heavy lifting that Superman would be proud of at the moment.
Yes, carrying the world on her shoulders.
Probably feels like she could leap a few tall buildings at the moment. Top ball 20 over, another good one. This is what we talked about, taking it deep. Glamorgan, they were teetering on the brink. Overs 4. Started to get going again, lost another couple. It was at that point it had to be careful, and then just at the 11th as well, needed to just settle in, stay in there with Holland.
The problems are the circles, aren't they? Not only are there 6 of them, but they're so close together. You're just sort of not really getting any rebuilding in. Plenty of people in already. I'll be glad they did get here early. Watch a very dominant performance so far. Right then, 5 to go. Should be a couple at least. And one more for the throw. Makes it 3. Just a little bit too straight to start with. Got her this time though. Holland's fantastic innings comes to an end. Davis gets her first of the day, and Glamorgan find themselves 7 down.
14.
Just carried on, pitching middle, hitting middle and leg. It's a fantastic effort from Holland though. She'll deserve a good hand as she leaves the field. Georgia Parfitt will replace her. That is a great effort from Holland. Parfitt just taking guard. Oh, now the baton looks like it's going to pass to Tulloch for Glamorgan. Well, it's a single, but it's not the worst single in the world from a Middlesex point of view, because it brings Tulloch on strike for the final ball of the over. Now prevents her getting back on strike, if you can. Tulloch good enough to be able to take that single. 4 to go, 74 for 7, so 24 balls left of the innings. An innings completely dominated by Niamh Holland. Two partnerships into double figures. Tells its own tale. Skipper's back.
Returning at the lake end, Saskia Hall.
That's in the air, but it's safe. Mid-wicket. Comes around. They'll get back for the second. I don't think they will.
No.
She's gone. Well, I have to say we're side on, and it always looked a risk. A risk. Parfitt goes. Strong arm from the rope. Half decent throw was going to be putting pressure on that second run. Well, it was a good throw.
You can see Saskia Hawley calling for it her end. Great work from the camera crew. She's short of her ground. 75 for 8.
Georgia Parfitt was right out. Excellent work in the field there by Middlesex. New batter is Sarah Phillips.
So Phillips out at number 9. This was the danger we were talking about earlier. I mean, it's gone via a run out with that one, but it could all happen so quickly here. Batting out your overs, you've got 100 on the board, but 3 wickets left. It's a very easy game from here. Let's not forget that.
Taking guard well outside of off stump and almost gives a return catch.
Rueful, I think is the word, for the look on Hawley's face.
I'm just glad we've not got stump mics. I think it might have been slightly more than rueful.
Is that Dave Fletcher in the background? Derbyshire commentator. They in action set. I think they had a bad night on Friday. I was listening back to a bit of the Nottinghamshire chase. Tuned into the Nottinghamshire stream and watched back a bit of that chase. Derbyshire's woes got a few mentions, shall we say.
Good. That's a Nottinghamshire boy. Well, the cry straight away was 2-2-2, but it was never going to be 2 because it was straight to the deep fielder. 77 for 8, 18 balls of the innings remaining potentially.
Go run a ball from here. It's 21 more runs, but even just get into the 90s. 15 more runs from those 21 balls. For those, try my maths again, shall I? From those 18 balls.
There might be a couple of wides, you never know.
It's been a long day already.
It's a phrase they use in baseball, don't they? They call it small ball. You forget about hitting home runs. What you try and do is get the ball in play and just progress the batters round the diamond, and you can pick up your runs that way.
Close, close and gone. Davis back into the attack and a wicket straight away. Again, it was that flight, wasn't it? Put it up there and say to the batter, your move. You swing across the line, if it's straight, you're in trouble. Saw a few of those that were leg side earlier from Davis, but yeah, that's cannoned into middle.
I think any umpire in the world is giving that one out. Even the greatest not-outers of all time might have struggled to say no to that one.
New batter number 17, Hawley.
Tullock's the batter to go. The screen just slow at the bottom there. It was Tullock that had a strike for the start of the 18th. So Phillips, 1 from 3, will watch on. This could. I'm sure it was Tullock out, wasn't it? Apologies, maybe the screen has it right. Reed, anyway, is the new batter, a single taken.
And isn't going to make a ground.
Wow. Well, we said it could happen in a flash, and it has. 2.4 overs to spare of the innings. Glamorgan are all done, put in here. Reed, well, yeah. Very late, shall we say.
Almost posthumous.
Another run out in Hawley this time, and Glamorgan all out for 77. Show your appreciation, please. For
Good from Davis, calm as well. Managed to whip off the bails, and that is the end of the innings. 77 all out, then having been put in. And Middlesex will feel pretty happy. It has been the case for a while that this game really hinges on the Middlesex power play. That new ball attack for Glamorgan, are they going to be able to inflict the same kind of damage? Middlesex can keep their heads in the power play, play straight, see off the threat of that seeming swinging ball, then 77 is a relatively low target to have to overcome. 78 will be the target, but look at that, 4.44 the run rate to that stage. And there's the tail of the tape, 40 for Hollands, that was key. Tulloch was, who was 16 unbeaten at the end. So it's a lovely scene, it's a good crowd in. Could be a good game if Glamorgan get a couple of early wickets, but Middlesex will very much be hoping for slow and steady to get it off and underway.
And that's the key point, isn't it? They don't actually need to go clattering along at a huge rate. They can take their time, set themselves up, and just pace this. There's no need to rush, unless you particularly have net run rate in your mind for later on in the tournament.
Andrew McKenna, thanks very much. Myself, Kevin Hand, alongside Macca, bringing you the stream of this one today and for that second game later in the day, Middlesex men taking on Glamorgan men. We'll be back with the chase here at Northwood after a few words from our sponsors.
Get this crowd bouncing. Oh my goodness me! Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh, that's a magnificent strike. Oh wow, that's absolutely awesome. Oh yes!
Has he got him? He has. Oh, wow. Now, that is some pickup shot.
Just wait there, just wait there.
Action! All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. All new experiences for everyone. All over the country. Every session is all-out action all the time. All welcome, all invited. Even mums and dads. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. All you need is delivered right to your door. Best of all, it even has your name on it. All the activators are fully trained. And all they want is for us to have a great time. Always. Set, ball, catch, throw. Try it all. It's time to go all in, all together. And it all starts with All Stars. All you need to get started is at allstarscricket.co.uk.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for Scatterblast. Keep your eyes open, get ready to catch, as members of the Middlesex and the community team are going to throw Vitality Blast t-shirts into the crowd. Enjoy Scatterblast, everyone.
one area.
Please give a very warm welcome back to the field our umpires, Melissa Juniper and Anthony Harris. And here come the players opening the batting for Middlesex. Number 3, Reba Victoria. And number 22, Izzy Routledge.
Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Merchant Taylors School.
And here comes Glamorgan.
Here comes the chase. Pindoria and Routledge out to the middle. 78 is the target to win for Middlesex to go 2 from 2. Start of the competition. All the pressure's on Glamorgan, but they will be hoping to heap the same kind of seam and swing movement onto this Middlesex opening pair, and that is going to be the key. I think Glamorgan will know they cannot afford a bad start with the ball, and they pretty much need a very, very good one. Middlesex, slow and steady. Get there in good time. That's got to be the way, hasn't it?
Well, that's the common sense approach, but of course, if net run rate comes into the equation later on in the competition, then there might be a case of going out and blasting your way to victory if you can. Obviously, Pindoria ended up with a not out 50 against Sussex. Izzy Routledge at the other end's first outing.
Opening the bowling, this is Poppy Tulloch.
Here we go then. Reply underway.
Poppy Tulloch with the first over from the river end, so up the hill. May have been a wide, but either way, Middlesex won't mind because it looks as though they'll get a boundary for it. Bit of a bobble, keeps the fielder in interest. Ah, it's a great stop.
Brilliant fielding. Absolutely brilliant fielding. The captain's dream, that coach's dream. Might not have gone well with the bat, but we chase everything to the boundary, and it would have been easy to say, well, that's 4. And that gets Routledge up and running with a boundary, but no, keep it to 2 if you can. Middlesex still underway though.
Pulled straight to the fielder, but along the floor. Tulloch it was who was left stranded at the end. Seeing 2 and 2 go. It'll be a wide. So a couple of those to begin for Middlesex as they just got to grips with, well, at the time, what was a bellowing wind, wasn't it? It's died down a little for the moment. Still got to get accustomed to the slope. That's really well played by Routledge. Kept still at the crease. We talked about that movement out there. We saw at the start of the Glamorgan innings there was a lot of movement back and forth across the crease. Standing still, waiting on the ball. Hooking fine for 4.
Been a bit too short so far this over. Enable Routledge to free the arms and get them moving.
Oh, look at that come back in again. Sharply back in. end of the opening over. 7 off it. Good start for Middlesex. Boundary. Sit an awful lot better. 3.73 the required rate. Very, very manageable. It's as simple as this. If Middlesex bat out their 20 overs, they win the match. Probably won't take them anywhere near 20 overs if they're batting it out. But look good from Routledge. We'll see if Pidoria goes the same. If you're shifting about left, right and centre in the crease and that ball's doing a bit, then your chances of reacting to any movement severely hampered.
Gemma Porter's going to take the second over. Going around the wicket with the breeze behind her. A whip of the bottom hand as Pinderia plays that shot. Can get out to mid-wicket.
Oh, that popped a little. Played off the splice, but again patiently played.
Driven into the surface by the bowler. Long on's in place. The cover is there. Pinderia plays it and immediately says yes, yes, yes. Single comfortably taken.
Gone! That back foot came out of the crease. Routledge has to go, the patient start. It's brought to an end by a little bit of guile, a little bit of flight, just angled across, drawing her into it. And yeah, you can see that back foot there. Down she came. Ooh. Inconclusive, those ones there.
So she started inside, shuffles out, and then is beaten back.
Number 3, no.
Breakthrough. Middlesex 10 for 1.
Couldn't get a definitive shot of it. It looked tight, didn't it? She was close to getting that foot back, but once you're out, it is very difficult to get your foot back in. So, Naomi Datani, a long-time Middlesex opener, back on loan from Hampshire. Accustomed to being out there early.
Probably should highlight on that stumping. Good work by Georgia Parfitt behind the timbers. Never easy coming around the wicket, coming across the batter, past the outside edge.
noticeable movement again there. Coming back in from Tulloch. Nips away. Sharp movement from around the wicket. Seen that in dip.
Called wide. Yep.
That's a beaut. That's what she's looking for around the wicket to Datani. Angle the ball back into the off stump, and then if it does move away, outside edge could be in place, slip in place.
I said in the first over she was a bit short. Now she seems to have got the wind and the breeze and the angle, the slope, just slightly coming uphill to deliver. She seems to have worked that out, and now she's found the rhythm.
On that one, just about stayed inside the tram lines again. That shape away, we saw the wide earlier in the over, the one nipping away, just about within the margins. That cut fine. Late cut by Datani. Just the single, they're thinking two, but there's only one in it. Datani off the mark, keeps the strike as well. It's the end of the third. 3 off it with the wides. Middlesex 13 for 1. It's pretty much what we expected from the start. Middlesex haven't gone too mad going at it. Purwell on tour. Jolly Boy's outing by the looks of it. Oh, what a ball that is. Done by the flight. Given a bit of loop by Porter. Datani plays all over the top of it. That ball might have been a bit of drift on it as well. Just at the last coming in there and then straightening.
Well, it's gone between bat and pad, which will be very disappointing for her, because that would mean she was playing a line that it would have had to have turned an awful lot to have made contact with it. Datani goes. Trussler is in. 13 for 2.
Yeah, didn't seem to do an awful lot wrong there, Datani, but There was a little bit of late drift. Dip and then turn. I do think it's that flight that did for her though, 'cause she's pretty much missed a straight one. Single turn in front of square leg. Well, I think 2. 3 fielders converging though, and it is just 1.
Well, it's a nice chance this for Finty Trussler. She only got a short bat against Sussex the other day, made a single from 4 balls. Now she can occupy the crease a bit more, try and see Middlesex home.
Oh dear, now that's gone off the back of the bat. Bat face closing. Down the track she comes. Middlesex needs to be careful here. This is a danger moment. Glamorgan will sense that as well. Oh, wow. Thought for a moment she'd come out of the crease.
I like positivity, I don't like recklessness. We've just been saying about how the required rate is so low. I'm not sure they need to be quite be as busy as what they need to be at the as what they are being at the moment.
Drags for a single, down to long on. That's a relatively safe shot, which is fine. Into the 4th over, 15 for 2. Just a couple of singles off it then, but the wicket start with of Datani. Yeah, the words that you use there, crease occupation, that's pretty much for Middlesex what wins it. Get a partnership, get in, and that's the key. If there is a surface that's proving testing for a batting lineup, then settle yourself in. Those who stay there the longest will score the most runs. Look at the Glamorgan innings. That's what Middlesex have to try and replicate here. They need somebody to do the same, and ideally they would like to do this chase top down rather than get themselves into a spot of bother. Glamorgan's only hope of winning this is to bowl Middlesex out, so Middlesex have to think, don't give them anything cheap. Tell it back. Thick edge on that. There is a deep third back. It's actually backward point that gets there. A yes, no as well. All backing up. And well backed up in the onside. Burke into the attack at the river end up the hill.
And Emily Burke bowling a right arm seam. She got a twofer against Gloucestershire in their County Cup game a couple of weeks back. Just a little bit too wide on that occasion.
Back wides. Saw this in the opening over, didn't we, for Middlesex, up the hill into the wind. goes to the end where somebody's able to keep check on it rather than having a loose clip end at the end where nobody's looking at it.
Nice push drive to mid-off for Nunn. Well, that might be the first one that's moved back in. May have just caught Finty Trussler a little bit by surprise there. It does threaten to go away, but actually then runs in off the seam.
First 6 overs, wasn't it? We really saw this in the Glamorgan innings, the Middlesex bowlers just getting it to do a bit. Oh, that's going to be a no ball. Waist high, full toss. Over the top of Porter it goes. They'll come back for the second. And it'll be a free hit for Middlesex. No ball confirmed by the umpire. Just slipped out for Burke. 5th extra of the over, and it concedes an extra 2 as well on top of it. What will the free hit concede? Oh, they're thinking a single. Yes, it gets through. Thought they were going to run the misfield and get themselves into trouble. Of course, my apologies. It wasn't 2 for the no ball. It's 1 for the no ball and then 2 off the bat. So 8 off the over so far. Just inside the tram lines. Sharp swing though, that one. Can we see that from behind, please? Dot ball to end the over. Burke happy to get out of it. 8 off the over. It could have been worse. Just watch this go. Yeah, it's just inside. Really
Remember, it's not quite as simple as inside marker good, outside marker bad. Those are only guidelines, so it is down to the umpire. Because obviously, if you've got a 4'9" batter and a 6'10" batter, they've got a different reach. So therefore, the umpire will take that into account. So they are guidelines, those markers, not hard and fast rules.
It's a bit like the way the guidelines are judged in the press tent for the food, isn't it? Lots of food, good. Not so much food, bad. Pretty definitive guidelines there.
You're a quality over substance man, aren't you? I have to confess that we're sitting here on one side of the ground, and on the opposite side of the ground there's an Indian street food truck that's been sort of calling my name for the last half an hour or so.
You've already gone with the tandoori chicken.
That's what made me thinking about the Indian street food.
Swept through for a single.
So the final ball of the power play about to come up then. Glamorgan worked 28 for 3 after the power play.
Oh, Nell! That goes up out of the gloves. I think it went off the edge of the bat as well. You got front on, Dan?
That's the end of the power play. Middlesex.
So 24 for 2. And again, the old stat. Lose 3 or more inside the power play and you lose 90% of your game. So from that perspective, you would just be wavering towards Middlesex at the moment. Right, is that pickleball or paddle or what is it? Or is it just tennis?
I think that's tennis.
Do you know the difference between pickleball or paddle? Do you know what pickleball is?
Do you know what? My mother-in-law, bizarrely, ended up talking about pickleball the other week, so we ended up looking it up. It's similar to paddle, isn't it? But
Just
slightly
not as good.
different. Well, I'll have to take your word of that.
I haven't played pickleball. I played paddle, that is good.
Right, out of the power play period, and Phillips will bowl straight away. Sarah Phillips.
On the spot. Again, that's Glamorgan's game, I'd say, is... Middlesex have to find these runs somewhere. Don't give them to them easy. Put it on the stumps. Let them make the mistakes. Slow them down. There you go. Force them to come looking for it. They were untaken. Mid-on well backed up for mid-wicket.
There's a bit of a buzz around the field now as well, isn't there, from Glamorgan? I mean, they were very close to taking a third wicket with the final ball of that previous over. If they had, therefore, they'd have been in a better situation than Middlesex after the power play.
Yeah, I think the big difference here, it's a modest chase. I think Glamorgan got... They didn't get to grips with the pitch quickly enough. They didn't recognise that settle in and play the long game. Oh, picks out the fielder, she's missed out there. That's where Middlesex here are looking for balls like that to put away. Wait for the bad ball.
And of course the big difference is Middlesex know what the target is. When you're setting, it's always a bit different.
That goes up and over. It's not going to carry. It's a little chip out to extra cover. Sweeper at cover coming around. Just a single. See, that's quite a high risk shot for one, I'd say.
Nearly.
Yeah, it fell just short. Now that does go up. And that is held. Pinduri departs. Well, we're just in the high risk shot for one. Gone for something similar and skies it. Not sure Middlesex have quite got their minds clear in this chase at the moment.
Again, she's looking onside and it's ended up at extra cover. Just trying to hit a little bit across the ball. 25 for 3. Saskia Hawley walking out to the middle. Sure, the captain was not thinking she'd be walking into bat at this stage.
Yeah, needs a steady innings by the skipper here.
New bowler number 17, Nicole Reed.
Oh, Reed gives that some flight.
Give it any more flight, you need air traffic control clearance.
That's a good start. And again. Can we see that front arm?
My first thought is Trussler's gone a long way across here.
Oh, wow. She gets a bit of bounce with it, doesn't she, Reed? Yeah, I reckon that one was umpire's call, you know. I reckon if you go upstairs, that was umpire's call. I reckon that was at least clipping. But I don't think Glamorgan had detected, straight in line as we are, just how far across Trussler had gone. Up in the air. And down the ground for 4. Trussler moves to 10. 29 for 3. Middlesex only just passing. Glamorgan's power play score.
Well, she committed to it, didn't she? So up and over, as long as you clear Parfitt at mid-off, then you're fine. And it did clear her by quite a long way and runs away to the boundary. Target of 78 wouldn't frighten many teams, but I get the feeling, just watching the body language of the Glamorgan team, they feel they're back in this one. Middlesex need to tread carefully for the next couple of overs or so.
I think this is why, you know, as we said, Middlesex, they've just got to play it straight. They've got to see off the 2 new balls, one from either end. And they've got to take it long. What we saw from the Glamorgan innings, very evident, as we knew it would be in this as well, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble very quickly. You're not going to get to the target quickly. That's a really good shot by Trussler. Late cut, nobody down there. We did see a few get away down to the vacant deep third. They're coming back for the third. Tights. Keeper goes to receive the catch. Thought about shying to the non-striker's end.
Yeah, Hawley was always coming back for the third there, so she was committed to it early on. Trussler was then going to the far end, which therefore just made that third run a bit more safe, or even though she was slightly later setting off for it.
Short. Just a single, I think. Deep square comes around. Didn't go too hard at it there, Hawley. Again, that's the key. It's kind of what we're talking about. Again, easy game from here. Not wanting to hammer players and their performances or their strategies, but going after it on this pitch has never really been the way. Full bunger. Just a single, eased out. Oh, one for the misfield. Here comes the throw to the non-striker's end. It's wide. They put the pressure on the fielder after the misfields.
Good looking shot for one. That's already 7 this over in 4 balls.
Bowled or played. Phillips keeping them honest at the end of the over, and Hawley just respectfully pushing back. It's a lovely sight. You're at Merchant Taylor School. There's a key idea of where we are. And it really does feel as though this is a tipping point now. If that worm for Middlesex just getting ahead of Glamorgan, if they can keep their heads here, keep wickets in hand, that trajectory is only going to keep going in one direction.
One of the great things about being an outground is the tennis ball just appeared on the outfield. Just pushed to mid-on, just down in front of us, here at extra cover. Don't know quite where that appeared from.
Look for a couple here. It's a good connection though. It means it's to the fielder pretty quickly, coming around from deep backward square to long leg. There it is. Is it? Yeah, it is. Bottom right of the screen. Well done, producer Dan. That's one of those kids' tennis balls, isn't it? So that's just come from that little game we were watching, wherever they were. Someone's eyes have lit up, haven't they? Had a big swing. the onside, that Hawley. A few eyes lighting up at the ice cream van already.
Judging by the picture on the van, there's a lot of selection for you, Kev.
That's where it goes wrong, you see. You spend up all that time thinking, what are you going to have? And you end up having nothing. Or about 5. I'll have one of those, one of those, one of those.
Do it like countdown. I'll have 1 from the top row, 2 from the second. Josh DeCare has just wandered around the back of our commentary tent on his way to having a net.
Reckon you need Rachel Riley to add up how much it's going to cost. Not cheaper than outground, is it?
Like you see, you don't get many chances to have a go, so you make your most of your day out, don't you, when you go to an outground. It's one of the great things that when you're covering Middlesex, you can be at Lord's and then 2 days later you can be at Merchant Taylor's School.
To be fair, I said outground, I mean any sporting venue, but
I mean, does it happen anywhere else in the world in like cricket? So when the Sydney Sixers are playing at Sydney Cricket Ground, are they then at the local oval the following week? It's so English, this, isn't it?
oh, gone! Long way down. He's never going to get the foot back on that one. Trussler departs. The flight of Phillips brings the 4th wicket for Glamorgan.
Second victim of the afternoon for Parfitt. It didn't turn back in, did it? It stayed on that straighter path. And Trussler was in trouble from there on.
Sproul it is. That's Joy Hawley. 38 to win from 58 balls. It's all about that wicket column. 4 down, 6 to go. The runs will come.
But as you said earlier, it's that age-old adage, you can't score runs in the pavilion. You've got to be out there together.
Well, didn't we see it at the end of the Sussex game as well, when we said this is reaching a tipping point where it'll go one way or the other now. An over will go horribly wrong for one. And that'll be the game, and so it was for Sussex. A few wides. A couple got away for boundaries, and all of a sudden Middlesex charged home in a flash against the Sharks. It's a game of patience, this one, a game of chess at Merchant Taylor School, and if you go rushing into a few moves you might find yourself in a position it's very difficult to get out of. Looking for 2, just the single, deep square coming up. Not the biggest of playing areas here at an outground, but yeah, go back to your point, the outgrounds, yeah, it's often lamented. I mean, Middlesex obviously have Radlets and Merchant Taylor School over the years, Richmond, Southgate. I think you might just be a little bit too young by a year or two for the last time Middlesex played at Islington, Macca, but yeah, around the counties though they do about it. Indeed, Glamorgan, Colwyn Bay, Ebbw Vale.
Well, the return game in this competition is at Colwyn Bay in a couple of weeks' time, when the women go down to Wales.
Swansea, of course, 6 sixes.
Absolutely. Not sure how much more cricket Swansea's going to get, because the Ospreys rugby are moving to Swansea and taking over that. Well, that's dainty.
You can't get rid of the ground at Swansea, surely.
Well, I'm not sure they're going to get rid of it, but they just might not get as much use out of it. And at that point, you then wonder, is it going to change? But the rugby team are currently sharing the Swansea football stadium, which is far too big for them. So they're trying to find places to go, and they've settled on St Helens.
Actually, I got to the hotel the other evening for the Middlesex's game at Glamorgan. Put the cricket channel on the TV, and 6 sixes and over. Not Gary Sobers though. It was Yuvraj and Broad. What I'd forgotten about that is Flintoff was winding up Yuvraj at the start of the over, wasn't he?
I think Andrew was winding everybody up throughout the game at that point, because there was a lot of feeling between India and England, weren't there? Because you think back to Flintoff running around Lords, wheeling around with his shirt off. And then Ganguly getting his own back.
Yet to see a 6 in this innings, actually, are we? Or in this match. It's not been the game for it. No batter's really been set to think about teeing off. As we said, it's a game of chess mostly, this one. Cat and mouse. Look at this over. This is a good over. Low risk. 4 singles. See it out another one. See this one out, another one like this, and all of a sudden the pressure just starts to tilt. Good cricket. Hawley moves to 6 from 10. 47 for 4 after 12. 30 to win from 31 to win from 48. Very manageable if they can get this partnership just to keep ticking like that. Low risk shots.
Feels like it's going to be a tip and run game for the next half an hour or so. Glamorgan are setting quite deep fields, so Middlesex can just keep finding those gaps, keep the scoreboard ticking along, and move this on towards victory.
Returning to bowl at the late end is Billy Burke.
Letting the ball to come on, play it late, full delivery, comfortable drive down to long on for a single, not getting carried away, not trying to clear the fields, and actually with long on back at the moment, we'll get back to what we were talking about in the Glamorgan innings of do Middlesex bring the field up and say, right, go on, if you want runs you've got to clear the infield. That didn't get up. Just a single again.
Short of a length and shin high.
Speaking of shins.
Land short. Good take. There's a wide, but it could have been more than the one.
The Middlesex 75 ball.
50 off 75 balls. Oh, that was just nipping back in. Thinking about two. About they come. Now, dropping short, Hawley decides to give that a little bit more oomph. Thought for a moment she might have got underneath it, but single it is. Again, another good over. We said back-to-back overs like this, and all of a sudden, in a low chase, the pressure switches quickly. Six off the over. Another good one for Middlesex. 25 to win from 42. 53 for 4.
We may have come up with a cunning plan if that doesn't work for any particular reason. We might be able to sit here.
We've just been joined by Baldrick.
Ah, yes, there he is.
No, not as sharp.
We haven't got the shot. Guy, Fletch, Baldrick. You've just come up with a cunning plan on the mic. Have we just been joined by Baldrick? Oh yes, there he is.
Meets it on the full toss. Takes the single. Feels like Glamorgan's job here is to try and get that equation between runs and balls remaining nearer to parity. And that's another one that comes off, 24 from 38. And the nearer it gets to parity, then pressure starts to apply.
Four dot balls in a row, I think. The adage, don't you? 21 dot balls in a row brings a wicket in Test first class. I think it's 3 in T20. 3 dot balls in a row. Oh, well, that's 5.
Well, that's seriously gone above the eye line, hasn't it? And as a result, it comes down and turns. Single from the over. 54 for 4.
You broadcasted, sir? Can laugh now. We're laughing at
Change of bowling in the late end is Poppy Tulloch.
Poppy Tulloch coming back, having opened the bowling. The dots continue.
Signalled.
Call is 2 straight away. And they will take a couple.
Up in the air. Safe, just checked the shot. Hawley. Controlled cricket. Again, after an over that tightens up, the pressure is swinging back to Glamorgan here. 4 off the last 4 deliveries. Just undoes a lot of that hard work from the end of the last over. 5 top balls in a row. Deep square back, deep cover.
Yeah, that differential to 13.
Have to wonder right now, as that's a wide, whether it's worth bringing up those fielders.
Essentially, you've got to bowl 2 maidens and you still won't get it back to parity, in effect. The difference now. So those pushing 1s and 2s will be enough for Middlesex to win. So as we said the other night, in fact, that's interesting, they're putting fine leg back to the boundary.
See, I'm happy with that, but I'm thinking the 2 square of the wicket need to come up. Straight to backward point, that one.
I mean, you'd argue that deep mid-wicket, almost bordering on wide long on, that's a bad ball that gets hit there. And the old adage is you don't set a field for bad bowling.
This is out there, Sproul just opens the face to backward point. Yeah, deep square and deep cover point, but as you say, cow corner basically.
Fair enough to have a sweeper 1 either side, but I'm struggling to see how the ball gets to basically cow corner at the moment.
That's nudged away. That's really well played by Sproul. That's where they put back the fine leg. For me, I'd almost say fine leg and deep third are the 2 that go back. Everybody else up. That takes a lot of the pressure off. A welcome boundary. And nice, you see, there's that backward point. And there's just a lot of runs there, isn't there? Either side of backward point with cover back, no deep thirds. 15 to win from the last 5, 63 for 4. Third boundary of the innings.
Coming on to bowl at the Benham end, Emily Burns.
Glamorgan only hit 6 in their innings, all of them by Holland.
A couple of those were edges, weren't they?
It's not been a bludgeoning T20 game so far.
And the mistakes have often been when people have tried to bludgeon the ball in this one. We've seen those charges down the track. Big swings.
Speaking of big swingers. Oh, how we laugh.
Now they're getting the fielder at third exactly where they want them, just a little bit finer. Here's Burke. The cover sweeper comes in for Sproul.
Oh, gets away with that one. Burke just sends down the wide one, having just brought up cover.
Back of the hand, wasn't it?
It's well run. There's that little gap with deep square back. I think even if deep square was up, to be honest, might have just nudged the gap there. They're wary of it happening in a flash as well, Glamorgan, in terms of keeping that deep square back. They're going to send deep cover back for Hawley now.
I mean, I get that with Hawley being the senior partner, but she's not really played that many shots in this direction. It's
They've brought up short fine leg as a result as well, so only deep third back now. I'd be trying to bowl it wicket to wicket, in which case you'd have the fine leg back, deep cover up. Best chance here is of taking wickets, trying to get them to hit it off the stumps here. Oh, that's hit back off the cover fielder with a grunt there. It came back off her.
yes. It's never a good sign when you can hit. Oh, is it?
You got the replay down?
Right off the bicep by the look of it. Hit him. Oh, it was close.
Wow.
And well, a direct hit definitely gone, and probably should have been gone anyway.
Just goes to show, doesn't it, what we've been talking about? Put the pressure on the singles. It's the gamble they have to take, because at the moment Middlesex should win this at a canter, so they've got to try and force a mistake. And even in a strong position there, you've just seen a miscalled or a misjudged single, very nearly paying the penalty.
Now for me here, what you do is you've got 4 overs left, you've worked out who your 4 bowlers are going to be, and then reverse them. So bowl your best bowler now, and then the next best bowler in the next over, because at the moment it doesn't go down to the final over.
Now that goes up in the air and just out of reach. They'll get a couple. Sproul gets away with it. Oh, they get back for a third. It slips out of the hand at the third attempt as well for Parfitt. That's a huge disappointment for Glamorgan. 1, the catch goes down, but 2, it's resulted in 3 runs.
Never easy running, certainly in the breeze as well. The disappointment will be the extra run given away for the fumble on the floor. Well, 8 from 22 now. 2 shots will do it. controlled sweep in front of square. Just a single. Six to win. Five off the over. 18 balls to get those final six.
Well, the field has to come up now. Ring inside the 30-yard circle.
Deep square's going out, as is deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, I'm not sure they've got this quite right. There's only a shortish, straightish mid-wicket in place on the onside. Oh dear, Sproul. It's gone for the sweep. First ball of the new over. Porter has 3 for 6 at the start of her fourth.
Around the wicket. Was it holding its line enough? Well, the answer is yes, enough as far as the umpire's concerned. 72 for 5.
Patel just needs to drop a single here. Middlesex are very nearly over the line. Hawley nudges gloves. There is a comfortable single into the onside there. All you got to do is miss that short straight mid-wicket. Then from short fine leg all the way around. Well, now they've brought up the deep square. Otherwise, short fine leg all the way around to mid-on. There was only that short mid-wicket. Deep mid-wicket still back.
And that's what I don't understand. You've just said surely Patel is just going to drop it and get Hawley on strike.
Well, the deep square's up by the umpire now, so it's a tight enough gap there between the short mid-wicket and the square leg, I guess. There we go, squeeze. 6 from 12 could become interesting.
Absolutely. 6 from 15 at the moment.
Shouldn't really be a single inside the circle anywhere for me. So having that extra one up probably tightens things up. Oh, leading edge. Very nearly to cover. 5 from 13. Now can Porter get out of the over here? Hawley on strike, and they keep Patel on strike for the start of the next over. Up comes deep square belatedly. Gone back, but up she comes now. Deep mid-wicket, the only fielder back. That's a beaut. Angled across. Hawley looking to open the face and run it fine. Which would have been pretty much the win had she been able to do it. There was nobody there. But no contact and a wicket and a single off the over. It's 5 to win from 12. Patel to have strike. This could get tight.
Do you remember those numpties about half an hour ago? We were talking about potentially winning this game very early, very quickly, thinking about net run rate. This is why you actually play the game that's in front of you, don't you? Otherwise, you get caught up and potentially muddle your thinking a bit. And actually, winning the game is more important than anything else. If you can then put a cherry on top of the cake with a nice little net run rate, but you've got to win the game first. And 5 from 12, there is still a game to be won.
And for 19 from 3. Going up more than 6 and over. 5 5 to defend with 12 balls remaining. Is it risk to go pace on at this stage?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That if the more impetus that's on the ball, the batter goes at it, it can fly that little bit more. She's actually played underneath that one, Patel, there.
Oh, they've only used the 5 bowlers. Whether there was a 6th spin option to go to, it would have been probably too late to bring her in now. Oh, that's well bowled. Pressure shifts to Patel. Hawley comes to have a chat. Burke, who will bowl the final over should it go that far, number 18 from 3.
I wonder what that conversation was. I think I'd be going, just get something on it and we're running 1.
Swap bowled into the block hole. Well, to some extent, you get to the end of this over, and if Patel's still on strike, it's back to the situation we saw at Lords a couple of weeks ago in the Middlesex men's game against Kent. Last ball of the over, you got a free hit Patel. So as such, you almost want Patel on strike at the end of the over now and swing big. Although with 5 wickets in hand, she can probably start swinging now, to be fair. It's only 1 shot wins it really for Middlesex if one of these final 2 deliveries connects. There's deep square back. And long leg. They're now sending back deep third. That's clever from Glamorgan. Deep third being back, I think, absolutely, because a swing and an edge right now wins it for Middlesex. But Patel for sure can swing at these 2 deliveries. Slow ball.
And another one that hasn't got up particularly. Just something to keep an eye on as the afternoon progresses with the men's game. Is that going to be a trait that continues?
Well, this is the ultimate free hit of all free hits. There's 5 wickets standing. Absolutely nothing to lose here, Patel. She's got to back herself. See ball, hit ball. Steps across, inside edge, gets past the keeper. It means Patel is going to have strike for the final over, and that is not the scenario I do not think that Middlesex wanted. Hawley takes that one. Perhaps wasn't sure how fine that was going. That's with all due respect to Patel, but 2 from 9, 4 to win from 6 balls. Hawley 17 from 27. And the skipper's taken the single and's taken a big risk. 74 for 5.
Yeah. It's such a balancing act, isn't it? Can you turn down any runs at this stage? But do you want your more senior player, the player who's faced more deliveries, to be facing as we go into the final 6?
Well, it's a 2, 4 or 6 ball, that, isn't it? Anything else, the answer's no. Now Burke, who's going at 6s, has 4 to defend off the final over.
Right.
3 for the tie, of course.
Field. Nobody sweeping on the offside. And fine leg back. Mid-wicket 3/4 of the way back. Everyone else inside that 25-metre circle. In fact, it looks like now they're going to change that. It's a fielder heading down towards third. Yeah, it's not going to be short third, it's going to be full boundary riding third.
Down the hill from the Benham end. Oh, now goes after the first ball. That could have gone anywhere. It's gone nowhere at all.
Now the pressure really starts to build up. 4 from 5. Listen to that noise from the fielders. far more chirp.
Another one steps across, another dot ball. Glamorgan are sniffing this now. They will not believe that they've been able to bring it this close. One shot wins it for Patel, but 2 from 11.
At one point there was a 15 differential between runs to win and balls remaining.
That's close. That's really close and gone. Patel steps across and swings and misses. Burke has her first wicket. And Glamorgan have a real glimpse of victory here at Merchant Taylor School. Slamming. Oh, well, it nipped a bit, but I think it's taking leg.
Yeah, I think that ends up hitting the right thigh and then goes on to the left one, which might give a slightly false impression of it, but it's LBW 74 for 6.
Pressure told for Patel. Naya Patel it'll be. Had a wonderful day in the sun at Lord's on Thursday. Only the briefest of cameos needed here. And we are at that stage now where we said that last ball of the 19th over, it was a 2, 4 or 6 ball for Patel. Now it's anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you get. Get something on it.
And Hawley's got to be in the starting blocks at the non-strikers end to try and get down there if possible. And that's the other factor, that if they do manage to get the ball in, the fielders have got to be thinking keeper's end every single time, because you want Hawley out if you get a wicket.
Fine leg and deep third of back for the edges. Now it's drifting down. They're going to run the single and they're through. Get the leg by. Deep third being back, it meant there was just that little bit of room. Fine of backward point. 3 from 2, but it's Hawley on strike.
Well, skipper, now's the time. And now it's a very different field. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, deep cover. No one back behind the bowler in the V deep, so mid off and mid on both inside the circle.
There's the swing, and there it goes, the winning runs. Hawley gets back on strike at last and wastes no time. Middlesex win with 1 ball to spare by 4 wickets. It was far tighter than they'd have liked, but it's back-to-back victories for Middlesex and they see it home in the end. Well, commiserations to Glamorgan, because they've made one heck of a game of that. Middlesex looked to have had it won throughout most of the chase, but right at the last, Glamorgan nearly snatched it back off them. As tight a game as you can imagine. It's a 4-wicket win, but with 1 ball to spare. And at the rate that the run rate was dropping, that genuinely could have gone anywhere at the end of the innings.
Captain got back on strike just at the right moment, didn't she? Just that calm personality. And as you can see there, got him to position. Sweet strike. And then it's fist pump time. 2 from 2. Slightly different manners of victories in the pair of them, but 2 wins nonetheless.
Tell you what, we'll all be tuned in for the reverse fixture at Colwyn Bay after this to start between these two. It's been a fabulous game of cricket. It's been a great start to a Super Sunday here at Merchant Taylor's School, a double header in Northwards. It started with a Middlesex win against Glamorgan by 4 wickets for the women. Can the men do the same this afternoon? Andrew McKenna and myself, Kevin Hand, will be back on the live enhanced stream with the second game of the day, which starts at 4 o'clock. Keep an eye on social media for all the news of the toss and the teams, and we'll bring you all the action just before 4. Do join us for the live enhanced stream then, but for now, from Andrew McKenna and myself, Kevin Hand, and the stream team here at Merchant Taylors School, it's goodbye for now.
Get this crowd bouncing. Oh my goodness me. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh, that's a magnificent strike. Oh wow, that's absolutely awesome. Oh yes.
Has he got him? He has. Oh, wow. Now, that is some pickup shot.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. All new experiences for everyone. All over the country. Every session is all-out action all the time. All welcome, all invited. Even mums and dads. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. All you need is delivered right to your door. Best of all, it even has your name on it. All the activators are fully trained. And all they want is for us to have a great time. Always. Have fun. Catch. Thrill. Try it all. It's time to go all in, all together. And it all starts with All Stars. All you need to get started is at allstarscricket.co.uk. This holiday at Dynamo's Cricket.